I will lose time. Okay. Now, last class we were discussing about the packing of the constituent particles in two dimension. We learnt in one dimension and we learnt in two dimension. Today we will learn in three dimension. Okay. So I will just recollect what we did. If you write in one dimension, we assume that all of them are identical hard spheres like this. This is in one dimension. That is the nearest neighbors, you call it as coordination number. If it is in one dimension, coordination number will be 2 because each particle is touching two other particles. Now in two dimension, how it will be? If you put it in two dimension, this is 1. You have 2 rows of this. How can you arrange? You can arrange it in 2 ways. That is, you can arrange one below the other, exactly one below the other like this. Sorry. Like this. So, each particle, if you consider this particle, is nearest neighbors to 4 particles, and if you join them 4 particles, you are going to get a square. This is called a square packing in 2 dimension. Coordination number will be 4. This is 1 dimension. This is 2 dimension. 2 dimension, you can also put the rows. Now I will show you. You can also put the rows. This is one row, and you can put the next row like this. That is in the gaps. Like this. If you put it in the gaps, the third layer will be below the first layer. I'll just show you. So, now if you consider this, here the coordination number, if you consider this as the particle, the coordination number will be, see, it is touching 2 in the same layer, 2 above, 2 below. So, coordination number will be 6. And if you join them, it will form a hexagon. So, this is called as hexagonal close packing in 2 dimension. Hexagonal close packing in 2 dimension. So, this is in 1 dimension, this in the 2 dimension. Now, we will learn how it is in the 3 dimension. 3 dimension, it is very interesting to learn. Let's see how you can do it in 3 dimension. Now, in 3 dimension, what will happen? You can have like this. In the one below the other in the 3 dimension. Like this. So, what happens is that if you enlarge it and see, it will be like this. Like this, and Like this it will be. So if you join them, it will look like this. It will look like this. So it will be like a cube. And I will tell you about the coordination number. In the simple cube, I have to show in the bigger picture how it will be. I will tell you the coordination number. Okay. So this is in 3 dimension. I'll just write it. Where is my other pen? This is in 3 dimension. Okay. One layer, same layer repeats in all the 3 dimensions. It is called as AAA type. This is AAA type. Okay. This is the square cube. It becomes a cube. Simple cubic system. Simple cubic crystal. Okay. Now, in 3 dimension, another way it can occur is, this is more interesting. Actually, if you had come home, I would have shown you with the coins. It will be very interesting to learn with the coins. Now, you have like this. Now, you have like this. Wherever you don't understand, you tell me, I will repeat. Okay. That means you have got hexagonal packing. You have got hexagonal packing like this. So if you observe it carefully, actually I have not written it exactly. If you observe it carefully, I will show. Okay. So it will form 2 types of triangles. Okay. So these are called as holes or depressions or voids or interstices. They are called as interstices. That is spaces in between. See, you cannot pack in such a way that you occupy the entire space. There will be gaps. You see to it that you fill in the maximum space. Okay, those voids you call them as interstices or voids or depressions or holes. You can call them by any name. So these interstices, here it will be square type, because one below the other it will be square type. If you have hexagonal packing, you will have, see, this is one type, this is a triangle shape like this. It is like this, and here it will be like this. You will have 2 types of triangles, voids. If you say this as A type and this as B type, you will have A type, B type, A type, B type. Alternate you will have like this. Now what happens is that, so it will be, you have to write it neatly, then only you can see that gap properly. See, this is like this. This is the B type and this is the A type. 2 types of voids you will have. Now what happens? Now you will have to do it in the 3 dimension. So in the 3 dimension, what will happen is that if you fill you cannot fill both A and B, you cannot fill. Either you can fill A or you can fill B. So what will happen if assume that you are going to fill A type. Okay, if you fill A type, actually you see in the book, actually they have given it neatly. Actually, if you do it, I'll in your textbook only they have given it very neatly actually. That is why I am not giving the notes for that. I'll show you that. See, you will have like this and like this. No, this book is not neat. I will show you in this book. This book they have given it very neatly. See, if you can see this, you are able to see this. See, you will have A void and B void. So, if in the next layer, you are going to fill the, I will send you this pic. I will just wait. You just take your mobile. I will send you the pic. This is very interesting actually to learn. To write, it will be difficult. Just go through the pic, Rishi. Go through the pic. See, in the next layer, they have given the neatly, they have put the balls so that you can see that. So, you have A void and B void. Okay, I'll send the first pic first. This, if you see, you will know. Okay, you see the second picture first. See, you will have A voids and B. Just zoom it and see A void and B void. A void is having the vertex of the, it is both are triangular in shape, and A void is vertex is downwards and B void is vertex is upwards. Like that it is. Now you see the next picture, first picture whatever I have sent. In that picture, if you see in that picture, next if you fill the A voids, you cannot fill both. Okay, imagine you are going to fill the A voids. If you fill the A voids, that layer is complete, and now you will have another two types of voids, C void and D void. Okay, C void and D void, and C void is triangular in shape. See, because if I write it on the board, it is two-dimensional. You are not able to see that void. Unless I show it neatly, you will not be able to see that properly. See, if you put it like this, okay. The second layer, I am not able to write it neatly. This is okay. See, if you have like this, one vertex down and one vertex up. Now, what you are going to do is, you are going to fill the gaps. If you fill this gap, even the third layer, so it is not possible at all. You see in this one also, this one picture only. So you will have, if in the next layer above it, you will have C voids and D voids. C voids is again triangular in shape. C voids will be triangular in shape. That is, you are filling all the A voids. So it is above, exactly above A void, and you will have now two new voids. One is C and one is D. C is triangular in shape, and D, it is a mixture of two triangles. It's a mixture of two triangles. You see in that D, it looks like this. It looks like this. D void, it looks like this. Okay. So this, now next layer if you fill, so you have now one layer A type and another layer B type. Now third layer, either you can fill the void C or fill the void D. Now if you fill the C void, it will be exactly on the A layer. exactly on the layer A. So it will be AB type. This is called as hexagonal close packing in 3 dimension. Hexagonal close packing. That is, you will have one layer like this, second layer here, and third layer exactly on the first layer. Okay, so each particle, it will be in touch with 6 in the first layer, like this. 6 in the first layer, 3 above, 3 below. So coordination number will be 12 in the hexagonal close packing. This is, you are filling the C void. Now, and if you fill the C void, it will be exactly like this. If you see this void, if you see this void, it is touching 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 particles it is touching. That void, I am talking about the void. This void, if you consider, this void is touching 4 spheres. That is why it is called as tetrahedral void. Tetrahedral void. Now, in another case, if you are going to put the particles above D, it will not be above A. A, B, and the third layer will be above D means, if you can see the picture, you will know. Above D means it will not be either on A or on B. It will be the next layer. It is A, B, C type. It will repeat. A, B, C, it will repeat. Okay. So, A, B, C, it will repeat like that. So, here also coordination number will be 12 only. Okay. Coordination number is 12 means here 6, 3, 3, 6. This is hexagonal close packing. It will be 3, 6, 3, 6 like that. It will be. Okay. Now, in the next, if it is ABC type, it will be 6, 3, 3, 6. Like this. 3, 3, 6. So, in both the cases, each particle is in touch with 12 nearest particles. It will be touching 12 particles. Both in AB type or in ABC type. ABC type will be 6, 3, 3, 6, 3, 3 like that. This will be 3, 6, 3, 6, 3, 6 like that. In both the cases, each particle will be touching 12 other particles. Okay. So, both of them are quite efficient. Both of them have coordination number 12. But this is hexagonal close packing and this is called as cubic close packing. And this is also, you have to remember this is also called as face-centered cube. Face-centered cube. So, face-centered cube is same as cubical close packing and you will have hexagonal close packing in 3 dimension and cubic close packing or FCC. Both are in 3 dimension and both of them are very efficient. Both of them, we are going to calculate the packing efficiency, packing fraction for both. Both are quite efficient. What you have to remember is HCP is shown by molybdenum, magnesium and beryllium. Molybdenum, you have to remember the examples also. Molybdenum, magnesium, beryllium is shown by HCP. CCP or FCC both mean the same. It is shown by iron, nickel. Remember all the coinage metals: copper, silver, gold, aluminium. FCC is shown by examples also they ask in 1 mark. Okay. So, iron, nickel, copper, silver, gold, aluminium. They show FCC and molybdenum, magnesium, beryllium, they show HCP. So, what does that mean now? So, in coordination number, this is 2. I'll show you. Coordination number 2 in 1 dimension. In 2 dimension, it can be square close packing or hexagonal close packing. This is coordination number 6 and this is 4. 3 dimension, it can be cube, simple cube like this, or it can be hexagonal close packing AB type, or it can be face centered cube or CCP. Both mean the same, ABC type. Now what do I mean by this is, now next you can also, this is simple cube and this is face centered cube. You can also have body centered cube. That is, at the center of the body you can have a particle. At the center of the body you can have a particle. This is body centered cube. This is shown by all alkali metals. That is sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, all of them. Lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium. That means you remember all alkali metals show body centered cube. Okay, and this is shown by FCC, is shown by iron, nickel, copper, silver, gold, aluminium, and this is shown by molybdenum, magnesium and beryllium. So now what you, very interesting thing you have to know here is, you write down this point. You write down this point. See, if you have a simple cube, if you have a simple cube like this, write down this, Rishi. If you have a simple cube and if you have write 3 cubes. Write 3 cubes. I'll tell you what to write. This is very important point. This is simple cube. This is your say FCC and this is body centered cube. When you write like this, you will have a particle at all the corners in simple cube. You will have at the body, at the corners. Right, for all the corners you write. All the corners you write. Okay. Now, for simple cube only this much. For face centered, you will have one particle at the center of every face, all the faces. Okay. Body centered, you will have one particle at the center of the body. So, now see what I write. Now, for simple cubic, one particle I left, I just write. Okay. Now, for the simple cubic, lattice, now this is very important point. They will ask you this. Number of lattice points. Lattice point means number of particles. Lattice point means it represents the number of particles. For simple cube, it is 8. For FCC, what is the number of particles here? Number of particles? Rishi, how many lattice points for FCC?
Ma'am, is it that formula of like 1
See,
by
just count the number of particles. How much I have written? Both red and green.
Ma'am, is it 10?
See, 8 plus center of each face. 6 face a cube
Oh,
has.
14.
14. Very good. Body centered.
Ma'am, 8 plus, is it 4, 12?
No,
Or is it
no.
2?
Body centered means corners plus only one at the center of the body.
So, 9.
9. Lattice point means count only the particles present in each cube. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, if I say coordination number means number of nearest neighbors, closest neighbors. For simple cube, it is 6. How it is I will show you. I will show you how it is 6. This is what you have to learn. All these things no book gives properly. So when I teach, learn it properly. I will show you how the coordination number is 6. Okay, this is the cube. Okay, I need one more color. I will just take one more color. Okay. See, you write the cube and then you cut the cube like this. 3 dimension you cut. Like this one. Like this one. And you are able to see like this one. You are able to see the what I am writing, Rishi?
Yes, ma'am.
Now you join this and join this. Okay. Now you imagine a particle here. Now when you imagine a particle here. Okay. Now this particle, you will have a particle here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this particle is nearest neighbor to, write down this, Rishi. 1, this particle, I am talking about the center particle. This is nearest neighbor to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is a simple cubic. Simple cube. So, the particle at the center is next nearest neighbors will be 6. So, coordination number is 6. Centered, face centered. I showed you here. Face centered. What will be the coordination number for face centered? It is 12. Coordination number for a face centered cube will be 12 because 6 in one dimension, 3 above, 3 below. So each particle at the center is in touch with 6 in its own axis layer and 3 above, 3 below. So coordination number will be 12 for a face centered cube. And for body centered cube, coordination number will be 8 because each body centered cube is nearest to all the 8. Okay, it is same with the corner also. If you expand it and write, even each corner particle is nearest to 8 particles and each body centered particle is also nearest to 8 particles. This you can understand from the, if you write one cube only, because body centered is nearest to all the 8 corners. So coordination number will be 8. So they will ask you this, coordination number and lattice points. Don't mix both. Lattice point means number of particles present in one unit cell of the cube. Okay. For simple cube it is 8. For face centered it is 14. And body centered it is 9. And coordination number means nearest neighbors. For simple cube it is 6. For face centered it is 12. And for body centered it is 8. Because each particle is nearest to 8 other particles. Understood, Rishi?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, examples also they ask. Examples also they ask. Sodium metal is body centered. I told you here. Sodium metal is body centered. Sodium chloride is face centered. Okay. Sodium chloride is face centered. I will talk about ionic compounds later. How to know the structure of them. But you remember here example will be sodium. Children will get confused here. Sodium metal is body centered. Sodium chloride is face. I will write the structure of this and show you how it is face centered. Okay, we are going to calculate the number of particles for this. So, sodium chloride. Cesium chloride is again body centered. Cesium chloride is, I'll show you, I'll talk about the ionic compounds later. But don't get confused between sodium and sodium chloride. Okay, so this is the structure. Understood till here? Rishi?
Yes, ma'am.
Understood till here? I'll
Yes,
just
ma'am.
take a pick and send. Others also can know this. I'll just take a pick and send. Okay, so now we will continue. This class is very important, Rishi, because no other no one book will give you all the information. And even in the notes, I don't think I can cover everything, whatever I am saying. It's not possible. So you have to listen to me carefully only. This is the only thing, the only way you can learn. Okay, next point, you are going to learn, this also you write it down. I'll send the notes, but still you write it down. Next point is, you have to learn the relationship between radius of the particle, and you have to learn the distance. Edge length is given by A, and the distance between the two nearest neighbors. So you have to, this is very important. Very important. You have to know the relationship between radius of the sphere of the particle and D, distance between the two nearest neighbors, and edge length. Edge length means what is the distance of this. When I write the cube, what is this distance? This is edge length. This is the edge, and what is the length of this edge? This is what you have to learn. You have to learn. We are restricting our study only to cubic system. That itself is so complicated, you will know. If you learn all the 7 system, 14 Bravais system, lattices, everything, it is going to be a huge chapter. Okay, so we are learning our study only to, we are restricting it only to cubic system. So, we studied about the lattice point and coordination number. Now we are going to learn for all the 3 systems, simple cubic, face centered, body centered. We are going to learn the distance relationship between radius, distance between the two nearest neighbors, and the edge length. Okay, that is the edge length we are going to learn. First we will start with the simple cube. Now, simple cube, write down the cube, Rishi. Write down the cube. You write the simple cube. Okay, when you write the simple cube, now how will the particle be? It will be like this in a cube. Okay, I will just show you only this portion. For this portion I will show you. I'll write it in some other color. This portion, this is the edge length. See, edge length is denoted by A. Edge length is denoted by A, and D means distance between the two nearest neighbors, and R is the radius. If you can see this, I will just write like this. 2 like this. Okay? Now. Okay? This is A. And from here to here it is R. And for simple cube, A is also equal to D. So, for simple cube, write down. For simple cube, D equal to A and both are equal to 2R. R plus R. Understood, Rishi? Rishi, understood, pa?
Excuse you, what, ma'am?
ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆ ಇದ್ರ ಡಬ್ಬದಲ್ಲಿ ಬ್ಲೂ ಕಲರ್ ಚಟ್ನಿ ಪುಡಿ ಥರದ್ದೇ ಡಬ್ಬ ಚಟ್ನಿ ಪುಡಿ ಡಬ್
Tell me. Rishi, understood pa idu? This one, simple cube? Rishi, you are able to?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, for simple cube, this is the edge length and edge length is equal to R plus R. That itself is equal to D. D is the distance between the two nearest neighbors. That is also the same as A. For simple cube, D equal to A and both are equal to 2R. Okay. Now, I will write for face centered cube, or first I will write it for body centered cube. Write on a body centered cube. How will you write a body centered cube? Okay, this is a body centered cube, and if you write the cube here, I will write only whatever I require. So body centered, it will be like this one, and actually I should have written little, I'll make it little shorter. See, body centered. I will first write this, then write the cube. Wait, I will adjust it and write it neatly. Okay. This is a body centered cube. I have not shown the particles here. Okay, this will be more confusing. That is why I have not shown the particles here. So body centered means you will have one particle here, center of the body, and another particle. You have particles at all the corners. Okay, but I am not showing that. Now, if you say this is the center point, this is R, this is R, this is R, and this is R. So if you say A, B, C and D, if you have A, B, C and D, if you have this, AD equal to, see AD is equal to 4R. AD equal to 4R. Now, this distance is A. Okay, this distance is also A. And this distance is also A. Edge length is A. Edge length is A. And see, if you can imagine, just imagine Rishi here, two spheres. See, this is one diameter, another diameter. So, D will be equal to, that is distance between two nearest neighbors. Like this, if I write, it will be AD by 2. Understood this? See, here if you write two spheres, one sphere like this, another sphere like this. So, if you take the distance between those two, like this, if you write two spheres here, okay, from this to this, from A to D, from A to D. So like this it will be. If you write two spheres like this, so half of that distance will be D. Half of that distance will be D. So D will be equal to AD by 2. That will give you the distance between the nearest neighbors. Now, how will I find out that in terms of A? How will I do that? What you do is you join A and C. You join A and C. Okay. Now, if you take the triangle in the triangle, I'll write it in white. In the triangle ACD, AD square, write down this, AD square is equal to AC square plus CD square. Okay. So, in the triangle ACD, AD square is equal to AC square plus CD square. Okay. Now, in the triangle ABC, AC square is equal to AB square plus AC square. In the triangle AB square plus AC square, hypotenuse is equal to AB square plus BC square. AB is also A square plus BC is also A square. This is equal to 2A square. So AC square is equal to A square plus A square, that equal to 2A square. Now, coming here, AD square is equal to AC square plus CD square, and AC square from this is 2A square plus CD is again is A square. This is equal to 3A square. 3A square. Now, AD, we know that AD is also equal to 4R. AD equal to 4R. Why 4R? R plus R plus R plus R. So AD equal to 4R. Squaring it on both the sides, AD square is equal to 4R square. AD square is equal to 4R square. So AD square is also equal to 3A square. AD square is also equal to 4R square. Therefore, 4R whole square is equal to 3A square. I have to derive the relationship between A and R. So this is equal to 16R square is equal to 3A square. R square is equal to 3A square by 16. If you take the square root, R is equal to root 3A by 4. This is what is important. R is equal to root 3A by 4, or A is equal to 4R by root 3. You have to remember this. R is equal to root 3A by 4, or A is equal to 4R by root 3. Now, D, what is D equal to? AD by 2. Okay. So, what is AD equal to? AD equal to 3A square. So, AD equal to root 3A. From this, AD square is equal to 3A square. So, AD is equal to root 3A. So, D is equal to AD by 2. So, this will be root 3 by 2A. So, D is equal to root 3A by 2. R is equal to root 3A by 4. And A equal to 4R by root 3. You can also say it as D by 2 will be R. R is equal to D by 2. In that case also you can derive. Okay, r is equal to d by 2. Always r is always equal to d by 2. R is equal to d by 2. So r here also root 3 by 2 into 2, it will be root 3 by 4. Both ways you will get the same thing. So write down this. Write down this. Then we will derive for face centered cube. We will derive for face centered cube. Understood, Rishi? It is, you have to learn this. Unless you learn this, we cannot learn the packing efficiency. That is why we need this. So we are deriving the relationship between R, D and A. A is the edge length, R is the radius of the particle, and D is the distance between the two nearest neighbors. Here what happens, here the corner particles will not touch. This also you must know. In body centered and in face centered, corner particles will not touch each other like simple cube. Simple cube will be like this only, all of them touching like this. But it cannot touch here. That is why edge length, you are not getting it as 2r. You are getting it as 4r by root 3. 4r by root 3. So this is the relationship between D, R and A in body centered and simple cubic. And if you have finished this, then I will do the face centered. You finished this? Rishi?
Yes, ma'am.
You understood, first of all, what I am doing?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Clear. Now we will do body centered. Face centered. Now, how will a face centered cube look like? First write the cube. How will a face centered cube look like? You will have particles at all the corners. Write down this. All the corners. And you will have one particle at the center of each face. This is back face, front face and this face. Okay, you will have particle like this. Okay, now here to derive the relationship between DR and A, what I do is I take only one face. Okay, I take only this face, upper face. When I take the upper face, only one face I take. I'll write it in white. Face I will write it in white. So that particle I can write it in color. Okay, I am taking only one face. If you take one face, you have one particle at the center of the face. One particle at the center of the face and one particle above it and one particle like this. You will have like this. This is only one face I have taken. Here this is the entire cube. That is the difference. Now, I will name this as A, B, C. Here also if I join, same as that. You will have R plus R plus R plus R. Okay. Now, in the AC is equal to 4R. AC is equal to 4R. Now, in the triangle, write down. In the triangle ABC, AC square is equal to AB square plus BC square. AB is the edge length A and BC is also edge length A. BC is also edge length A. So, AC square is nothing but 4R. 4R whole square is equal to AB is A square and BC is also A square. So, this will be 2A square. 16R square is equal to 2R square. So, R square is equal to 2A square by 16. Or 1 by 8 or 1 by 8 A square. Or R is equal to A by 2 root 2. R is equal to A by 2 root 2 R A is equal to 2 root 2 R. Cross multiply 2 root 2 R. Okay. What is D equal to? D is also D is equal to R is equal to D by 2. So D is equal to 2R. So D is equal to A by 2 root 2 or 2 to cancel. D is equal to A by root 2. Or A is equal to root 2D. Anything. You can write it anything. So, if you write for face centered, you just take one face only. You take one face and you join them and you take the triangle, consider the triangle ABC. AC square is equal to AB square plus BC square. AC is equal to 4R. R plus R plus R plus R. And in the triangle ABC, AC square is equal to hypotenuse is equal to opposite and adjacent. Pythagoras theorem. So AB square plus BC square. So this is also A, this is also A. You get 2A square. By that you will get it as R is equal to A by 2 root 2. Understood, Rishi?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you have to make everything into a column. Okay. I will give you that. I will tell you how to write it. You have to write, see, simple cube, face centered, body centered. Write the number of lattice points, coordination number, then relationship between D, A and R, and write examples. Can you make the table?
Okay, repeat the.
Okay, I repeat. What you have to do? You have to write simple cube. And so many other things also there. First, we'll make this table first. Simple cube, write down. Simple cube, body centered, face centered. 3 types of cubes. Under that, first you will write the lattice points. 8, body centered 9, face centered 14. Coordination number. Simple cube 6, body centered 8, face centered 12. Okay, you will write first the lattice point. That is very important. Number of particles. Then coordination number. Then the relationship between D, A and R. All the 3. Simple cube, body centered, face centered. That you have to memorize neatly. Very, very important.
Okay, ma'am.
For body centered, R is equal to root 3A by 4. And for this, R is equal to A by 2 root 2. If you remember, these two also 5. Radius and this. And D is equal to root 3 by 2A. I'll give you in the fractions later. Because in calculating, we need fractions. I'll give that. D is equal to A by root 2. Okay, I'll give you the proper values so that you can easily calculate. Okay. So, have you understood this?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, after understanding this, now we will learn what is known as packing efficiency. This is very, very important. Packing efficiency is very, very important. I will tell you what do you mean by packing efficiency. Now, if you have a space having a cell, so many cells are there. Okay. So, you know that the whole cell is not covered with the particles. You have voids, depressions or holes you will have. So, how much space is filled out of the volume of the unit cell? You have a volume of the unit cell and out of the volume of the unit cell, how much space is filled, that will give you packing efficiency. If you take it in fraction, out of 1,
it is packing fraction. Out of 100, it is packing efficiency, percentage. Okay, so packing efficiency is given by Z, write down this, Z effective, that is number of particles per unit cell. This also you have to write it in the table. Number of particles per unit cell. For simple cube it is 1 because 8 into 1 by 8. For body centered it is 2. 8 into 1 by 8 plus 1 which is inside the body. And face centered it is 4. Corner particles 8 into 1 by 8 plus 6 face centered will contribute half. So 6 into 1 by 2. So it will be 1 plus 3 that is equal to 4. So number of particles, that is Z effective. For simple cube it is 1. Body centered it is 2. Face centered it is 4. This also you have to write it in the table. Okay, make that table. So number of particles per, that is actually what is packing fraction is volume of the atoms by volume of the unit cell into 100. We are taking the percentage. So this is equal to volume of the atoms will be Z effective into volume of one atom. Write down this, Z effective into volume of one atom by volume of the unit cell into 100. Okay. Now what we have to do is write down this formula. Write down this formula. We have to calculate for all the three, simple cube, body centered, face centered, what is the packing efficiency, packing fraction. Now I will do it simple cube directly and then I will do this. I will make two columns and write body centered and face centered together. Okay. Now simple cube, what is Z effective? For simple cube it is 1 and volume, see if I write the cube, edge length is A. Since it is a cube, volume of the unit cell, it is a cube, that is equal to A cube. Area is A square, volume will be A into A into A, all the three axes. So volume of the unit cell will be A cube and volume of the atom I am considering as a sphere, 3-dimensional. So volume of the atom will be 4 by 3 pi r cubed. That is volume of the sphere. Volume of the sphere. So volume of one atom will be 4 by 3 pi r cubed by A cubed. Volume of the unit cell. Write down this. But A equal to A, for a simple cube, A equal to 2R. A equal to 2R. So it will be in terms of R I have to take. In some books, they have given R in terms of A. Both are correct. Either you put R in terms of A and calculate, or A in terms of R, both mean the same. So this will be 4 pi R cube by 3 into 2R whole cube. So this will be 4 into 3.14 into R cube by 3 into 2 into 2 into 2, 8 R cube. If you cancel R cube and solve this, 4 into 3.14 by 8 into 3, you are going to get it as 52.4 into 100. Sorry, I forgot that. Into 100, you are going to get 52.4%. You are going to get 52.4%. So you calculate simple cube. For a simple cube, write down this. Z effective into volume of one atom by volume of the unit cell into 100. Volume of the atom is 4 by 3 pi r cube because it is a sphere. by A cube, volume of the unit cell, it's a cube, so volume is A cube. So you substitute A equal to 2R and solve this, you are going to get 52.4. That is the packing efficiency, means that is the space occupied by the atoms. That is space filled. Now, 100 minus space filled will give you the percentage of the empty space. This also they will ask in 1 mark. So, the percentage of empty space will be 100 minus 52.4, that is equal to 47.6. Okay, for a simple cube, occupied is 52.4, so much is available left. That means it is not a effective packing. That is what I mean. It is not a effective packing because nearly only half is filled, half is empty. Only 52% means only half of the space is filled or half is empty. So it is not a very effective packing. Okay, write down this. Now we'll calculate for body center and face center. Both we'll calculate. After you finish, you tell me, Rishi. I will do for face center and body center.
Done, ma'am.
Done, na? Okay. Now we will calculate for, I'll make 2 columns here and do both so that you will understand neatly. Okay. Now we will do for, I'll make 2 columns here, one body centered, one face centered. Now first we'll do for body centered. So packing efficiency is equal to Z effective into volume of one atom by volume of the unit cell into 100. What is Z effective for body centered? Z effective for body centered?
Yes, ma'am.
What is Z effective for body centered? For body centered, 8 into 1 by 8 plus 1, that is center particle will contribute completely. So 1 plus 1, 2. Understood, Rishi?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So Z effective is 2. So packing efficiency will be 2 into volume of one atom. Again 4 by 3 pi r cube by A cube. It is a cube. So into 100. So for body center, R is equal to root 3 A by 4. So A is equal to 4R by root 3. So packing efficiency is equal to 2 into 4 pi R cube by 3. I will take this down and I will write 4R by root 3 whole cube. So this will be 2 into 4 pi R cube into this root 3 cube will go up. So it will be root 3 into root 3 into 3 root 3 by 3 into 4 cube R cube. 4 cube R cube. cancelled. So 3 gets cancelled. If you solve this, you are going to get 68%. I'll just calculate, take a calculator and calculate and show it to you. 2 into 4 into calculate that, Rishi, calculate that.
No, I can't see. What did it say? 2 into 4?
2 into 4 pi r cube into 3 root 3. This is root 3 cube. It will go up. Root 3 into root 3 is 3. 3 root 3 by this 3 and 4 cube r cube. R cube you get cancelled. Ah, 68.04. 68.04. So you can take it as 68. Oh, you can take it as 68. You calculated. See, I got 68.04.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So this is the space occupied. What is the space? Empty space. 100 minus 68, that equal to 32. 100 minus 68, that equal to 32. Okay. Now we'll do for face center. For face center, Z effective is equal to 4. How it is 4? 8 into 1 by 8 plus 6 into 1 by 2. So packing efficiency will be equal to, write down, Z effective into volume of one atom by volume of the unit cell into 100. So this is equal to 4 into 4 by 3 pi r cube by a cube into 100. Into 100. For this, R is equal to A by 2 root 2 or A is equal to 2 root 2 R. We have done that. That is why I did this relationship first to show that. So this will be 4 into 4 by 3 pi r cube by 2 root 2 r whole cube into 100. So this is equal to 4 into 4 pi r cubed into 100 I forgot. By 3 into
2 into 2 into 2, 8 into root 2 into root 2 will be 2 root 2 another r cube into 100. Calculate this. Four into 4 into 22 into 100 divided by 3 divided by 8 divided by 7 divided by 2 divided by 1.414. This will be 74.08. You can take it as 74%. Calculate that, Rishi. Calculate that.
Ma'am, is that 74% you have written?
Yeah.
Okay, ma'am.
You calculated? Are you calculated?
I'm doing, ma'am.
Yeah, do it. Do it.
Ma'am, is 70% the answer?
Huh?
Is 70% the answer?
Yes. I should have taken that also. Pick one pick I should have taken. I forgot to take that pick. I could have done the. That deriving that also I should have taken that.
I got it, ma'am.
Got it. So what is the empty space now? Hundred minus 74. 26%. They will ask this in MCQs. Space occupied also can be asked, or empty space. All the three. Simple cube 52.4 occupied, 47.6 empty. Body centered 68% occupied, 32% empty. And face centered 74% occupied, 26% empty. So which is more efficient?
Ma'am, your voice was cutting. What did you say, ma'am?
Pardon?
Your voice is cutting. I was probably my internet. Can you repeat, ma'am?
I said, see, in simple cube, occupied is 52.4. Empty is 47.6. So much is vacant, not used. In body centered, 68% occupied, 32% vacant. In face centered, 74% occupied, 26% vacant. Almost 1/4 vacant. More than 1/4 is vacant. So which is more efficient? I am asking.
Ma'am, face centered.
Yes, face centered is the most efficient, and even in that only 75%, almost 1/4 is vacant. Okay, that is this one. So what you have to do now? I will tell you what you have to do. You have to make a table now. What will you write it in the table? Simple cubic, body centered, face centered. First you will write the lattice points. I will talk about the voids later. Then coordination number. Coordination number. Relationship between D, A and R. Packing efficiency. How much? And empty space. If you learn this much, so much you would have learned. So in simple cube,
D equal to A equal to 2R. D equal to A equal to 2R. In body centered, R is equal to root 3 by 4A. This comes out to be, write down this, 0.433A. 0.433A. So D will be double this. So it will be 0.866A. 0.866A. In face centered, R is equal to A by 2 root 2. R equal to A by 2 root 2. That comes out to be, write down this, 3535A. Or D is equal to 0.707A. So lattice points 8, 9, 14. Coordination number 6, 8, 12. Relationship I have written. Packing efficiency 52.4, 68, 74. Empty space 47.6, 32, 26. Like this you have to write. This I'll take a pic and examples. Examples you have to write. You have to learn the examples under each. Understood, Rishi?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so we have to work out problems. So many problems are there. How to find out the formula based on the. I will tell you about the voids. In the next class, I'll tell you because it is too much to learn. We have learned so much today. We have learned how is the packing and how was the relationship between D, A, R, and then we learned about the packing efficiency. Everything we have learned. Okay, so I will tell you about the voids in the next class. How from the voids, how can you calculate the formula? How to know the void? That's very interesting. How to know the voids? How to know the number of voids in each of the simple cube, body centered, face centered, and then from that, how do you calculate the formula? How it is related to the stoichiometry? Okay, that we'll have to work out problems also, and then on density, how it is related to density. From the density again, we have problems finding out the number of molecules, and then A and molecular mass, everything, and then we'll have to learn the defects. Okay, so much is there. Apart from that, you have to learn the relationship between the radius of a tetrahedral void, octahedral void in both face centered and body centered. Okay, that and all I will tell you. Just we'll go step by step. This much understood, whatever you learned today, you understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So we'll stop here. Next class we'll continue. I'll send you the notes. You can, only the packing, no, you learn it from the book itself. They have given it neatly in the book. Okay, they have given neatly in the book.
Yes, ma'am.
I will start with the packing and I'll tell you about the tetrahedral and octahedral voids, and then I'll continue from the voids.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you. I'll just upload it.